I remember there were two movies that I saw in the 80s, and both of them had to do with taking people's hair off. This was one of them.
She did not know she was calling evil spirits of the past. They did not listen to the warnings before digging up the sacred ground of the dead.
I'm feeling the evil in this ground. It's alive with evil. Stop it!
Scalps. Now they have awakened a terror unknown.
She's nuts. You'll all die if you don't stop. We must leave. We must.
All dead. And then they became part of the land.
Enter a bizarre new world of unspeakable horror never before shown in a motion picture. Black magic will surround you.
Look. Blood. And it's coming from nowhere.
Your blood will run cold.
Ellen! Ellen! Where are you?
When the dead walk the earth, the living must die. Scalps. 100 years of hatred uncovered.
It's drums.
Drums and chanting.
Let me in.
Spirits tormented in death ravage cruelty on the living.
Where's it coming from? From hell.
Hold your head in fear that you are next. The only movie that you may not be strong enough to watch to the end. Scalps. Never disturb the graves of the dead. Rated R. No one under 17 will be admitted without a parent.
Yeah, you just don't go messing with tribal burial grounds. You learn that pretty quick in this one. Scalps was one of those movies that was just good drive-in fun. Definitely shot for the drive-in crowd. I liked it. I really liked it. It was just really, really awesome stuff. Very cool. The 80s was when I hit my teenage years. And with the teenage years comes puberty. A strong gust of wind was all it took to kind of get your gears going. So any movie that had boobs or sex was definitely something that me and my friends wanted to see. This had sex in it, but not the way we thought it would be.
Hey, wake up! Wake up, everybody! It's a gorgeous day! Gorgeous day! Come here.
20th Century Fox presents the story of Carla Moran.
Okay, now look.
The most extraordinary case in the history of psychic research.
Everything broke loose and went crazy, and everything was shaking. The bed was shaking, and the walls were shaking, and...
Like an earthquake?
No, it wasn't like an earthquake. It was much stronger than any earthquake.
Oh, wait a minute. Honey, I don't really understand this. You were attacked? Or you weren't? It happened. I was raped.
You were raped by whom?
I don't know. There was no one there.
A team of experts will investigate her life.
Why does he attack you, Carla? Not anyone else. Why is she going to such lengths to support this delusion?
And they will find more than evidence. They will find the entity.
Now, if you found out that your girl had just been shagged and she blamed a ghost, would you believe her? Probably not. But this movie is definitely a must-see, and it was a lot of fun back in the day. The actual concept of a ghost raping someone, I don't know. I guess it flew. This was one of those movies I remember it had one of those scenes in it that just made me go, ugh. Much like Sleepaway Camp, which sadly didn't make this list because of the whole sequel rule. But it had one of those scenes in it that my young mind wasn't ready to wrap around. It was a shower scene. Two guys kissing. Wasn't ready for that. And this guy is one of the more flamboyant, demon-possessed types. Actually, I think he was actually the son of the devil, so he wasn't possessed by anything. He was just evil incarnate waiting to come out, in more ways than one.
Alexandria High School, class of 81. All the students are going to hell, except for Andrew. He sent them there. Fear no evil. It'll scare the devil out of you.
Yeah, cheesy effects, cheesy lighting, but still very, very cool. I think the dodgeball scene was my favorite scene of that movie. Yeah. Made that ball just rip his guts all to hell. Good stuff. I always loved the movies that had warnings. Don't look in the basement. Don't answer the phone. Don't go outside. Don't stay inside. Don't do this. Don't do that. It's like telling you, if you do these things, bad things will happen. Much like this movie here.
If you value your sanity, don't go in the house. If you believe in evil, don't go in the house. Because the people who live there aren't people anymore. Don't go in the house. But if you do, don't say we didn't warn you. Don't go in the house. Rated R.
The warning doesn't get much simpler than that. Don't go in the house. Don't go in, there you go, in the house. Shit. There were a few movies back then that the only thing that it had working against it, in my opinion, was the soundtrack. The music was terrible. It was just so 80s rock, and not even good 80s rock. That's the thing. There were a few songs in the 80s that were really cool, but none of these movies used them. They had their own special soundtrack, and the music in it was just atrocious. This movie is one of them.
On the one night they were celebrating New Year's Eve, he was out, ending their life.
I'm going to commit murder at midnight. Call me evil.
Every New Year's Eve, the caller came out. One terrifying night of unspeakable evil. New Year's Evil.
Yeah, punk rock was still pretty big in the 80s. And it was like more like a cross between punk rock and glam rock. You can see it in this. The music isn't that hard or that heavy, but there's a lot of falsetto and a lot of screaming and squealing. Another movie that had pretty bad music was Graduation Day. And the only reason it didn't make this list is because I couldn't find a trailer with it that wasn't modern. I wanted the original trailer and I couldn't find it. But in that movie, there was like this scene where everyone in high school is surrounding this guy with a guitar, and this other guy is playing the harmonica with him. How many kids in high school back then did you see jamming out to guitars and harmonicas? Didn't happen. Never happened. People had boom boxes back then. But in this one, they had a song called Graduation Day Blues, and it was just And then their dance thing, their prom deal, the band that was playing in there just needed to be shot. So yeah, bad music was apparent in some of these movies, and it wasn't any different in New Year's Evil. You've heard me say on occasion that some of my favorite movies, aside from horror, are kung fu movies, and some of my favorite kung fu movies are by the Shaw brothers. One of the Shaw brothers, Run Run Shaw, I believe, he went and made a horror movie, and that movie was pretty damn enjoyable. There was something about it I just really liked. It kind of showed you that, what if you didn't go into the water? What if you stayed on the sand? There's nothing that could get you there, could it?
Pretty, isn't it? The beaches of L.A., playground of America. Until this beach turned into a living nightmare.
You said creature. Why did you use that word?
I don't know. What would you call it?
Blood Beach, man.
Yeah, right on.
Blood Beach.
The beach is a weird beat for us cops. You've got the kids, the old people, the street fiddlers, those singles, the crazies, all lost in their own world. There was every form of human life on this beach.
Madras Bermudas, bleeding madras. They were kind of old, but, you know, they were his favorite pair. They were still in good condition.
But under the beach, there was this, I don't know, this horrible thing. And we still haven't figured it out.
What the hell are we looking for?
I don't know. But maybe if we dig deep enough, we'll find out.
We police always look for the obvious, but this wasn't normal. Nah, not even for California.
Doctors figure that there's been considerable brain damage.
How considerable?
Vegetable soup. When something like this is chasing you, you hope you find it before it finds you.
If it's human, or even if it's animal, it's got to have a place to go back to.
Kind of sad the way things have changed, huh, Mr. Sullivan?
If there was any hope, we didn't have it. We didn't know a damn thing.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, you can't get to it.
There comes a time when you throw out all the rules and you make your move. Blood Beach? It's an okay place to visit, but I wouldn't want to die there.
Blood Beach. David Huffman, Mariana Hill, John Saxon, and Burt Young as Lieutenant Boyko. Blood Beach, where the water may be the safest place to be.
One of my favorite parts of that trailer is was that guy who says he had extensive brain damage. And like, how bad? Vegetable soup. That couldn't have been very PC back then. But who cares? It was the 80s. Speaking of outcasts in high school, this was the epitome of the outcast nerd seeking revenge on everyone. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out.
Marty Ranson was the dork of Doddsville High.
You get undressed in there.
His classmates laughed at him.
Are you ready? Here's Marty.
Where's the fish? They tormented him.
Where's the fish?
And then they went too far. Now, 5 years later, Marty's throwing a little party. A class reunion.
Come on, you guys, let's party.
They say he still roams the nut house, ever hopeful of that chance to escape, so he can take his evil revenge out on us all.
And he's making sure everyone has the time of their life.
I feel sick!
He's created a romantic atmosphere for rekindling old flames. And a nice place to just hang around. Marty hasn't forgotten a thing. He's giving them a blast from the past they'll never forget. Marty Ranson is still a dork. But tonight he's getting even. Vestron Pictures presents Slaughter High.
Oh yeah, you big old dork. She was going to do you in that shower, no doubt. You know, when I first started high school, when I was a freshman at Lane Tech, some girl came up to me and asked me if I would take her out. She did. Knelt right next to me and said, "Would you take me out? Do you want to go somewhere? Would you like to take me to my prom?" They must have thought I had Boo Boo the Fool written all over my forehead. Every dork out there knows that the hot girls don't want anything to do with you. Come on, man. Get with it.